Good afternoon and welcome to today's episode of NWCR's Removing That Liberal Blindfold for this, the 11th day of December in the year of our Lord 2025. Democrats don't realize that they are the anvil that is destroying America. And Joe Biden had one mistake that could last for decades, and there is nothing we can do about it. But remember, so it won't happen again. Please subscribe to our daily updates. They are recorded and placed on Rumble, BitChute, and YouTube, along with Facebook for your convenience. Listen to the end and then like and subscribe to them so that we can be raised in the ratings so more will hear the truth the media is working hard to keep from us all. And thank you in advance. Just the other day, this mistake of Biden showed its ugly face again, and sadly there is nothing Trump can do to stop it. From Newsmax comes this one. Biden's biggest mistake is one no one can correct. And because of this, our nation is going to suffer the consequences of this mistake for years. Much of the nearly 11 months into Donald Trump's second term has been dedicated to reversing the mistakes of his predecessor and restoring peace around the world. But there's one Biden error that could continue for decades, one that Trump and his successors are powerless to reverse, one that has the ability to adversely affect every American. Biden's nomination of Ketanji Brown Jackson to the U.S. Supreme Court. We got another example of Justice Jackson's unsuitability to serve on the High Court Monday during an oral argument in case of Trump versus Slaughter, which centered on the president's authority to replace a federal trade commissioner. The Supreme Court permitted Trump to remove Rebecca Kelly Slaughter from the former commissioner of the Federal Trade Commission, or FTC, in September while she proceeded with her legal challenge to the firing. Jackson told U.S. Solicitor General D. John Sauer that she did not understand why agencies aren't answering to Congress rather than the president, and pointed out that Congress established them and can eliminate them. However, the executive vesting clause, which is contained in Article 2, Section 1 of the U.S. Constitution, provides that the executive power shall be vested in a President of the United States. The executive branch includes the federal bureaucracy, often described as the administrative state, which is comprised of the various departments, agencies, commissions, and bureaus that implement and enforce federal laws and regulations. While Congress makes the laws, the executive branch carries them out. That suggests that the president, as the head of the federal government's executive branch, would have the power to hire and fire members of the federal bureaucracy. Not according to Justice Jackson, who launched into a nonsensical word salad that should have made former Vice President Kamala Harris proud. My understanding was that the independent agencies exist because Congress has decided that some issues, some matters, some areas should be handled in this way by nonpartisan experts, that Congress is saying that expertise matters with respect to aspects of economy and transportation and various independent agencies that we have, she said. So having a president come in and fire all the scientists and the doctors and the economists and the PhDs and replacing them with loyalists and people who don't know anything is actually not in the best interest of the United States of America. These issues should not be presidential control. Town Hall writer and columnist Amy Curtis called Jackson's remarks a no king's meltdown. Jackson suggested that if a president had the power to hire and fire people within the federal administrative state, that would somehow turn him into a monarch. I mean, I appreciate there's a conflict between the two, but one would think that under our constitutional design, given the history of the monarchy and the concerns that the framers had about a president controlling everything, that in the clash between those two, Congress's view that we should be able to have independence with respect to certain issues should take precedence. Tech entrepreneur Elon Musk correctly concluded, "She is talking nonsense." He added, there must be a way for the public to affect independent agencies, or we live in a bureaucracy, not a democracy. George Washington law professor Jonathan Turley suggested a different term for Jackson's make-believe vision of America. As is increasingly becoming the case, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson stole the show yesterday in an oral argument suggesting experts should not be subject to termination by a president, he said. It is a virtual invitation for a technocracy rather than a democracy. Since January 20th, Trump has been busy closing the border, removing criminal illegal aliens, eliminating narco-terrorists, reversing climate change directives, restoring balance to the international trade, combating inflation, and so on. In short, he's been correcting the damage left by Joe Biden, including trying to end 2 wars that began because of negligence under his watch. But Justice Jackson's appointments to the Supreme Court can't be rescinded. It's a lifetime appointment. She wasn't nominated because of her keen legal mind and knowledge of the Constitution. Cornell law professor William Jacobson noted earlier this year that fellow liberal Justice Sonia Sotomayor had to openly explain the law to her like she was a 5th grader. Jackson was nominated to the High Court for one reason: to become the court's first black female justice. New York writer and columnist Miranda Devine noted Jackson's insane remarks and concluded it's a crowded field, but one of Biden's most destructive legacies. At age 55, Jackson could be a court fixture for another 20 to 30 years, confirming that she is easily one of Biden's most destructive legacies. Settle in, American. It's going to be a long, torturous ride. And now we'll remove the liberal blindfold. It's like I have been saying. The Democrats don't care about the Constitution or our laws. All they care about is getting the first in anything. It doesn't matter if that first is good or bad for the country. It just matters that it happens. Ketanji Brown is an example of this way of thinking. My granddaughter could be a better Supreme Court justice than she will ever be, and she is only 2. From the Bible, from Proverbs 4:27, do not turn to the left or the right. Keep your foot from evil. We have to stop electing people to office who care nothing for the law, especially people like Justice Brown, who cares nothing for the law, but is actually there to enforce it. John Jay once said, justice is discriminately due to all, without regard to numbers, wealth, or rank. Right now, because of Joe Biden, we have a black woman justice who cares nothing for justice, and since her appointment is a lifetime appointment, she could be doing Biden's damage to this nation for as many as 30 years. Think on that one, folks, next time you think about who is bad for this country. Thank you for watching, and as I will always say, we shall not be ruled. NWCR is heard through Conservative Nation Media, or C&M, from behind that silver microphone of freedom with the voice of reason in this increasingly unreasonable world, where America always wins. Again, please like and subscribe to my video accounts on Rumble, BitChute, and YouTube, and leave us your comments to let us know what you are thinking. Have a good day, and God bless you all.